Welcome back. Uh, in the last session, we have discussed about the dictionary and its built-in methods. So, in this session, we will discuss about the characters and the strings. And for that, I want to say what's the difference between the character and a string. Character is a single letter. Suppose A is equal to A is a character. So if you want a string, then A is equal to, you have a sentence like he, she's a good boy. So then we call it as a string. So what we'll do is now today we'll discuss about the built-in methods of a string. So basically the string have the following method. We'll just read out for you so that we'll get an idea. So basically we have what we generally call as public method in other languages. The same way in Python we that's what in the last session also I have told you there is nothing called public private in Python. There is something called magical methods we'll discuss in the later session, but yeah, so we have methods like capitalize, center, count, decode, encode, hence with, expand table, find, format, index, is alpha num, is alpha, is digit, is lower, is space, is title, is upper, join, ljust, lower, lstrip, partition, replace, rfind, rindex, rjust, r partition, rsplit, rstripped, split lines, starts with, strip, swap case, title, and truncate, upper, zfill. So what I'll do is I'll not discuss all the built-in methods today, since we have to cover a lot of other things, so you'll be feeling bored if I completely do on this. So in today's session, I'll discuss only about the strings and the characters and the numbers. I'll take the few built-in methods and I'll show you out. So let's start with what we'll start. Let's start with capitalize. What do you say? Oops, cool. Okay, capitalize. So I have a string. So let's try for both string and a character. So let's say, hey, this is a character. A dot c a p i t a l i z e, capitalize. What this does, it basically converts into a capital letters. So if it is a character, it converts only the character. So suppose I have a string A is equal to Harish is a good boy. Yes, of course I'm a good boy. So what I'll do is a dot cap t cap italize, capitalize. What is your expectation? So do you think the whole letters or whole sentence will get converted into an capital, or only the first letter of a sentence get converted into a capital? We'll check out. Yes. So the answer is only the first letter. So what does a capital help says? A dot cap t cap italize, capitalize. So basically the capitalize, when you ask for an help, it says s dot capitalize string returns a copy of a string, yes, with only its first character get capitalized, only the first character. So since the character, as I said, the difference between the character and a string is this. So the character will be only one, so that whatever you give, it get converted into the capital. So when you give the sentence, the only the first letter of a sentence get capitalized. Cool. Let's go little bit up so that you can see all the things. So what will take the next? What do you say? Shall we take the center? So center, cool. D-I-R-A, yes. So I got this many. Yes, the center. So A dot CENT, yeah, center. So let's see for the help what it says. So A dot center. So A dot center says basically returns is centered in a string of length width. Padding is done with using the specified fill characters. Default is a space. Suppose I want to make an, so as you know, A is a good boy. So I want to add A is a good boy at the center, and at the left side I want something like flowers, or something like what I can say. Yeah, some zeros I'll add because I like zero, because that was my always mascots scores when I was in college. Yeah. A dot CENTR center. So what does the help says? So the width. So suppose I have a character width of 40 and I want to fill everything with my lovely number 0. Cool. What it does, it basically fills the 0 and make my string as at the center. The word center itself says center. It should be a middle. So this is what it done. Suppose if I don't give this value, what happens? So basically center makes it, an integer is required. Okay, I'll say okay. It doesn't. Why? Why? Because if you extend the string length, then only it can add zeros. So you have to specify its width. Suppose I have an x width, then inside that x width you have to make your text as a center. If you give the 2, the width of the, it takes only the width as HE, and inside that it is center itself, so it can't make it center. So you have to give the width. What should be the width of your string length or the size, so that if it is lesser than that, what character I should add. So add 0, again the lovely number. Yeah, this is all. Cool. So what will take the next? Shall we take the count? Okay. DIRA, what it comes, center, yes, count. Cool, man. I'm predicting everything correct today. I don't know. A dot COUNT count. So let us take an help of the Python. A dot count, what it does. So s dot count substring start end. So you have to give the substring from where, what all the strings in that, what all the letter it has repeated. Suppose I'll take with the character, I'll say array, okay, and say a dot count, and and okay, at least you have to give one argument for that. It says like that. So what I have to give, a dot count of the index value we have to give. So count 1. Oops. Expected a string or other character buffer object. So what you have to give, what you have to count, you should give me. Okay, then let's see. Okay, okay. So a dot count will give a. It gives 7. We got. So basically, count counts the number of letters or number of words present in your string or a character. In the last list also we have come across the same count. So yes, a dot count substring. What should be the substring? So suppose I take a is equal to Harish, Arun, Uma, Harish, cool. So now I want to count the number of times the Harishis. A dot count. Suppose I say Harish. It says 2. And you can also give from where you have to search. So suppose I want from the index 1, and so it starts from the Harun. Okay, so and yes, only one will give the end one. So if you see, it gives only one time. So if you say suppose 0 1 2 3 4, it gives 0 time. You can check. Oh, it's something wrong. Okay, let's give it 5 1. Okay, it has not splitted, so that's what it counts from here. It counts each and every letter. That's the reason. So suppose 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. Okay, if I give after 25, let's take after 25, it should give me 0. Yes, it is giving 0. Cool. Hope you understood. What will take next? Now I forgot, seriously. DARA. So we have a decode now. A decode is basically you have a different decode versions of your text. So right now I can show you a different example saying that have a dot decode, and I want to convert it for UTF-8 format. I think this I'll discuss with you in the later chapters. Oops, what's wrong? So we'll take the help now. A dot decode. It says a dot decode encode comma errors. Encoding errors. Okay, let's take a dot decode encoding. I'd say UTC UTF-8 will take UTF. Okay, let me pass with a string. Hubs. Yeah, we got the result. So what it had, see, Unicode is basically when you say is equal to U of Harish is said to be an Unicode, correct? So so when you had a Unicode 8 format, it adds a U at the center. So the same thing it has done. If you see A is equal to, I'm just taking this one, good boy, cool. A dot D E C O D decode U, sorry, UTF. So okay, I'll show you before wow the A prints. So there is no U here. I mean, it has not converted into Unicode format. It is in a different format. So I'll say decode. I want this to be Unicode format. So Unicode 8 format. So it says it adds U. So about this Unicodes and the different formats, definitely we'll have one more session on that. So right now we'll complete about the strings. So now I have a dot decode. So now we'll try the encode. Okay, let us a b is equal to a dot d e c o d decode. A dot decode. I'll say UTF-8 format. So what is B now? So it hides a U at the starting, right? So if I see B is equal to this, so I want to again bring it back to the normal format. Okay, there is a small confusion. Decode is basically if you have a decode string, so b dot decode decode, b dot decode. If you do b, okay, let's do it same for the encode. Encodes. So if you encode it, it brings back to your original string format. So let's have a brief difference between the encode and decode. So if you give the decode, whatever the text you have, that is decoded with the Unicode format. Encode is basically whatever the text you have, it encodes and send it your text in the normal format. So that is what the difference between the encode and decode. Okay, now what's the next? Encode and decode is done, and now ends with. So suppose I want to check whether my string ends with some word which I know, which some character or a word we can say. Suppose ends with ENDSWI, ends with. So I know A, it have a word called boy. So I'll check whether there is a boy or not. So yes, what it gives is it says yes, the string what you have given have a word called boy. Suppose I want girl, it gives the false. It says no, your string doesn't end with the girl. So it looks at the last character or a last word. Okay, if you want, I will have the help also. And yes, oops, no, I'm doing the dir, not the dir. So help, help. A dot ends ends with. So it's a built-in function ends with. So s dot ends with suffix start and end. So start and end is basically, you can say, from this string to this string you can try. Suffix is a word which you want to look for that. So from index 7 to 9, whether this string ends with this, it says. So actually it looks I don't think so hence is needed. Yeah, it depends on the use cases. Cool. What next? A D A R, not D A R L. Okay, D A R A. So what next? Extend tabs. Even I have not tried this. A dot E X T A N D T A B S, extend tabs. So yeah, what I remember this one, when you say Arhish is a good. So I want to give the tab here. So yeah, about the tabs and all, there is something called symbols, format symbols. So that again we will discuss later in the sessions, which helps you a lot about the manipulating of the strings. So escaping of the strings, escaping symbols, formatting symbols. There are so many other symbols. I'll discuss about that in the later session. So now what I'll do is, I want the boy, so that there should be a tab gap, one tab gap I want. So if you see a, yes, this is what it shows, a dot extend tab, extend tabs tabs. So let me give some length. I think we have to give. So if you give the length, it says how much distance or how many tabs it has to move. So suppose I'll give 9 types as size string object as no root extend. Okay, there is some spelling mistake with the method expandtabs, expand tabs of length 9. It gives the 9 length, or the tab size of 9. So suppose I'll give 100, so then you'll get to know the difference. So it gives it. You see, this is what the tab, this is what the tab, this is what the tab. When I press the tab, it moves certain distance. Suppose I have Arish, so this is what the distance it moves. So it actually basically moves the text with whatever tab says you are going. It clicks that many times the tab, so it moves in that direction away from the starting. Okay, next we'll look for the find. I think that's what I mean. These built-in methods we generally don't. Generally, when I talk about the string built-in methods, we generally don't use much. Again, it depends on the project to project, person to person, because some person can use in a different way. But yes, why I'm showing all these things is, even there are so many other built-in methods. You have to try it instead of writing your own methods every time. So in order to explain you about the built-in methods to remember every time, I'm doing this video. Okay, next, well, I think a dot find you have already come across. Suppose you have a and you want to find a dot find the boy. It gives which in which index it is. gives at the 19th index. It So how it is 19? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it give it it takes each character, and from that it gives where exactly it starts. In find it gives sorry in list or a tuple it gives us the index value, but here it is giving in terms of the in which position it starts. Okay, now let us find index. I think we have index as well for this. So yeah, we have index, and it says okay, a dot index, here is index. Okay, a dot index of boy, let me see, 19. The same thing, it actually looks the character wise and gives me on which position it is. Let me try a dot ndx index, what it says. So yes, it says you can give the position from where it has to start. From there it finds its index value. Cool. Okay, now what I'll try, DAR A. What we'll try now, find, okay, format. I think many people we use this every time. It is very much useful for during our development. So suppose I have Harish, I want to send this value dynamically is Harish. So let me add it here so that I can even phrase a good sentence. Okay, so this is what I have a string, and what I'll do is a dot for m a t format, for m, is it for mat format. So now it is your duty to hide whether I am a good boy or a bad boy. Please, oops, what's wrong? Let's take help. A dot for mat format, keyword arguments. So it has like returns a formatted version of s by substituting from the arguments. The substitution are identified by braces. Okay, so it is basically you can say like this. Aries is a good, no, I say this is how you have to mention, and you have to add like this. So you have a is like this, a dot for mat format. Now you say whether you want me to add as a good. Yes, thank you. So it is added a good for that empty braces. So you have to add an empty braces in center, and you can format that particular string whenever you want. Here also you can a dot help a dot format, you see, and so nothing else. You just need to pass in the form of an arguments or in the form of an keyword arguments. So a is equal to, suppose I have a is equal to Harish is percentages good, percentage yes, and percentage yes. Okay, and so you have is like this: a dot f4 mnt format. Suppose I say first good, good, and second what I'll say is uh, boy is equal to girl. I'll say girl, GIRL, girl. So let's see what happens. Identity. Oops, again. The mistake is you have to mention it. The A should be like this. I mean, there is the other way also. I'll show you in the later session about that. But this time I'll show you only whatever is there. It is like this, and this it is saying. Okay. And a.for mat format, good, and I'll send in a keyword argument. Data is equal to KRNATA Karnataka. Okay, what it says, file type a tuple index out of range. Respect most recent call. What's wrong? We'll check out now. So a dot for mat format. I have to send it in the keyword argument. Boy is equal to girl. Let's see what happens. Oops, no extra. Okay. Line 1 is module key array tuple index out of the range. Okay, what I should do is A is equal to Harish is a good. Let me try this. Then we'll say a dot for mat format. Good. Is equal to boy. Let me see. I'm not sure it is going to be correct. Okay, it takes the first word, but it says boy didn't take. So yes, we'll think of this, how we can take the keyword argument inside the a dot format. Okay, so what I'll do is A is equal to say you take like this and say Harish is a good Okay. Hmm. So what we'll do is a dot f for md format. So now I'll say good, correct, and then I'll also pass the keyword argument saying that Harish should be different here, and let us see it changes. You got? So what I did is, suppose I have a text like this, okay, and I say I want to add someone's name. So I have Arish here. So for Arish value I have to substitute something else. Then I say like this, good, and bracket. So a dot f or md format. First you pass the arguments. The arguments will be the direct variable what you pass, and the keyword arguments will be when you assigned it to some variable. So let's say, suppose I have an Arish to be different name. I say like this, and I want the argument to be passed. So this is the keyword arguments, and when I say the argument to be passed, I'll say boy. Then arguments after keyword arguments. Yes, so you have to pass the first the arguments, then the keyword arguments. That is what it says. So I'll say boy now. So then comma. Okay. So yes, this is what we get. Cool. So we have a, but a dot b is equal to a dot for md format boy, and we'll say she should be equal to room. So what is my b? B is a good boy. So now let's do dir for this. What next? We have come across the format. We have done even the index. So next we'll check for the is alpha num. Is alpha num. So suppose I have 1 2 3 4 5, and this is equal to a. Okay. So a dot alpha num, what it does, we'll check out. A is all num. It says whether all the, suppose you have a number which comes in the string and you want to check whether all these are number, so then I think we will use this. So I'll show you is all num. It should give me true if it is num. All num. So what's this? I think my spelling always goes wrong. A dot is num, is all num, all is all num. So it should give me a true, because see, suppose I have like 1 2 3, even there is one single character inside this, it should give me the false. A dot is all num. No, because there is one a is all num, which is a. So let's look for the help so that I can a dot or is all num. So returns true if all character is yes and alphanumeric, and there is at least one character in yes, at least one character, false otherwise. Returns true if all character is yes or alphanumeric. So that comes under alphanumeric, so it gives me the true. So suppose I have a is equal to Harish. Okay, then sorry, what is A is equal to uh, it is B. We'll take B. Okay, B dot is all num, because there is no number inside this, so at least now it should give me the false. Yes, it is giving. So if there is one number, or it is alpha alphanumeric, suppose you have a number as well as an alphabet, then it gives the true. If there is only number, it gives the true. If there is only characters or a string, then it gives us the false. Cool. What next? Is alpha. Is alpha. So is alpha is also similar. So we'll take B. B dot is alpha false. So what it says, help B dot is alpha. So it returns true if all characters in S are alphabetics and there is at least one character in S. False otherwise. So what we'll do, B, we got Arun is a good boy. B dot is alp alpha, and say it is giving me the false. So suppose I'll assign B is equal to 1 2 3 4 5. B dot is alpha. What it gives false. So now what I'll do is B is equal to 1 2 3 and number with 1 2 3, then I think it should give me the true. Let's check. Is alpha is alpha. It is giving me the false. See, help B dot al is alpha. It is true if all characters is yes or alphabetic and there is at least one character is yes. Suppose I is a good boy. B is equal to a boy. P dot is alpha. Let's check. False. B is equal to AEIOU. P dot is alpha. So this is in terms of the character. So now the character comes in the picture. So it says if it is only one, suppose I'll show you again. B is equal to 1 2 ABC. See, suppose it should give me the false. Cool. B is equal to 1 2 3 and ABC. B dot is ALPH. It says only the alphabets are there or the number are there. It checks like that. It should give me the false. Yes, and suppose B is equal to HARSH. So now it says B dot is ALPH alpha. It should give me the true because It says only the alphabets are present in a single word. In a single word, it looks for a single word. Okay. Now we have done with is alpha is digits. Okay. A dot is D-I-G-I to digit, or it says false. Suppose A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, it becomes integer, so number. So we will not look for that. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and says A dot is D-I-G-I to digit, or it says true. Suppose A is equal to A is equal to Harish, and say A cool. A is equal to Harish. Okay. So whether it's a is it digit, and if you ask it let us ask the computer, is it a digit? It says false. Boss, this is the character. Okay. So let us take the help. A dot digit, A dot dig. Oops. Help A dot is digit is digit is the thing which so returns true if all characters, so it deals in terms of the character. Yes, are digits. If all the characters are digits, then it says true, otherwise it removes the false. Whereas alpha num is if you have a character, so suppose you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say A, B, C, D, E, F, and A dot is D, I, G, I, T, D, J. A dot is D, I, G, I, T, D, J. It should give me the false. Yes, because whereas in alpha num it looks both the character and number, but if you say is digit, it looks only the numbers. So that's the difference between alpha num and is digit. Dear A. What next is title? Is lower. Is lower is basically says if your text is in the lower or not. So lowercase or not. So suppose you have A is equal to, I'll write everything in the capital is good. So now you say A dot is lower lower, it says false because everything is in the capital. So I'll do it like this. Harish is a good. So now it gives me true. A dot is lower lower, it should be true. Cool. Now what else we have to check? So is lower is an is space. Is space. Suppose you have A is equal to, and say have an empty space. So A dot is space space. It says whether true or false. Is SPA space. If it is only the space, it says true. Yes, because see, suppose if you have A is equal to and so if you give like this, A dot is space, it will not take. S is space false. If it is completely space, then only it says true, otherwise it will not. A is equal to, and I say I have this many gap, and say is SPAC space. Okay, suppose I have A is equal to, I'll just give it empty, only the notation. Then if you check A dot is spac space, it should give me the false. Yes, dear A is title. Is title is basically when you say title, title should be like this. A is equal to Rish is a good. So this is how we call the title. So if you say A dot is title title, it should give me the true. Suppose have A is equal to Rish is a good, and try A dot his title, it shows false, because in the title every word's first letter should be capital. Is title title, it says false. Yes. Now what we'll look for is title. Is upper is basically, it checks whether the text is in the uppercase or not. Suppose you'll try the title for is upper. A dot is UPP upper, it should say false, because everything should be upper in the is upper. Suppose it is a good, then you check A dot is UPP upper, then it says true. If one letter is small, then it says false. Yeah, there are so many built-in methods, that's why it takes a long time. Let us discuss about the join. Behavior of A gives you what is the, there is something called join inside that. So join basically adds your list value at the every first of your string. So suppose A dot join, I'll say A dot join. So let us know what is A now. So suppose you have A is equal to ABC and A dot join. So I'll say DEF you need to add. So it says C. So D added, then ABC is added, E added, then ABC is added, and F added. So this is how the join works, and let us look for the next. So I think join LJust. So what is LJust? So now L A dot LJUST LJust that. So with what says LJust, it's a built-in function. LJust s dot LJust with file character string returns left justified in a string at length width padding is done using the specified filling character. Default is a space. Suppose A dot L justify. Suppose you have an X length string and you have to add some extra text at the left side of your string to make your string as certain width. So that time we use LJust left justification. Suppose I want to make my string as 40 character and I want to fill it with 0. It fills 0 at the left side of the string, so it makes you 40. Harjust is similar, it adds zeros at the right side of our text and makes 0 0 0 0 and ABC. So this is the difference between LJust and Rjust. So suppose I have A is equal to HARS, Harish is A good. Now I want to convert it to a lowercase. A dot LOW lower. If you do, it converts everything as smaller. Suppose everything is in a lower, then what it would been happen? Harish is a good boy, and a dot low lower. It doesn't throw error. It says yes, it is lower only. So dir of a, next lower left strip. So strip is something like you are a is equal to, suppose I'll give some space, is a good boy. Okay, so and I say a dot strip strip, it removes the unwanted and unused or waste white space. So if you do the L strip, so we have to discuss about L strip, right? So if you do the L strip, a dot L strip, it removes only the left side unwanted space. Where is L strip? And this L strip, a dot L strip. See, it removes the left side of the text unwanted space. Yes, similar way you have R strip also. I'll show you that here only. So it removes the right side of your text unwanted space. Here of A. So R strip L strip is done. A dot here T-shans. So suppose I have a text A is equal to Harish is a good boy. So I want to make what's happened. Yeah, the computer is saying me as a syntax error. Okay, let us discuss on the partition now. And there is something called partition in the string. So what a partition does, you have a string called, okay, this is the string, Harish is a good boy, and you want to do a separate partition, this one as separate and this one as separate. So I can do like a dot one partition and say I do the partition for Harish is a and good boy as a separate. Suppose, see, it made a partition like this. It added extra space at the first, and at the last it has added its own text. So suppose I'll give the other example so that it will be helpful for you to understand. A is equal to Harish is a good boy. So I say I have this. Oops, what's wrong? Okay, and I say a dot one partition. So make me is a good boy as a partition, as a separate part. So is a good will be at one. Harish is one partition, boy is one partition, is a good. All these text become one partition. This is what the use of the partition. Okay. So next is about replace. So let us take the help. A dot replace. It is a copy of string S with all occurrence of substring. Old replaced by new. If the optional argument count is given, only the first count or occurrence are replaced. Suppose I have A is equal to Harish is a good boy. So and say A dot replace Harish and replace it to and it replaces that particular text. So this is what the replace do. Suppose you say suppose a is equal to Harish 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 Harish. I want to replace only the first two words. Then what I can do is a dot Hari plac replace Harish to this letter, and maximum count should be maximum times 2 times you can change for it. So it replaces only the 2 times, not more than that. Okay, we have come across the replace also. Then so I'll show the split. Harish is a good boy, and if you want to do the split, it splits and forms a list. A dot split split, it forms a list. Each words it is going to be splitted. And what next? Split lines. So I have not tried the split lines. I'll try it. A dot split lines lines. Split lines lists a string. Keep hence false. Returns a list of lines in S breaking at the boundaries. Line breaks are not included in the resulting list unless keepend is given true. And that dot split lines lines and say, so it actually it should be like this. A is equal to Harish is a good / yes boy. So now you say a dot split lines lines and say it splits that line, it divides that line. If you print that in the front end, you will come to know it will be added below. Okay. Okay, next dear A. So starts with I can show start with it just checks whether your string starts with this letter or not. A dot start starts with, suppose I want to say whether my string starts with Harish, and it gives true. Suppose if I say no, I want to check whether my starts, it gives the false. If I want to check whether my string starts with good, for no, it starts with A, so Harish, so it gives me the true. So swap cases. Suppose I have Harish is good. Okay, so I want to make all the capital letters as a small and all the small letters as a capital. A dot swap swap cases, and it does the reverse. Title I have already explained. Translate. Yes, translate. I think in the later classes we will discuss more about the translates. But I'll show you the simple example now from str in the string. I am pivot import. Okay, let us do the dir. What all the strings are there? I am pivot import string strings. It should be string, I think. Yeah, dir string. It says following these methods, and inside that there is something called table. It starts with the table. I'll translate, split, swap, index, make trans is that right? So make trans is one which creates a translation for your text. It is a big topic we'll discuss in the later sessions. From string, I'll import make trans. Okay, and suppose I have a is equal to AEIOU, and for AEIOU I want everything to be changed like 1 2 3 4 5 2 plus 3 2 plus 3, correct. So now what I'll do, C is equal to make trans trans, and I'll say A comma B. So C have a certain table. If you want to see the C, you can see this is how the table it forms. So, and suppose you have an A, K is equal to Harish is a good boy, and say K dot translate C. See, what wherever I have my ovals, it is translated to its value. So that is what the make trans does. Upper, Z fill is basically when you say you have a text and you want to fill the text with zeros. When your text width doesn't matches to the whatever the text you have, so then it fills zeros for that. If you give 1 like this, it doesn't take because it is a zero fill, it only fills with a 0. Oops. Yeah, cool. Now we will have the number as well, 1 2 3, and A is 1 2 3, and let me see what all there in the number. So in a number you have something called bit length. Okay, A dot bit underscore length length. What it gives the binary length. So if you want to see what is the binary length of A, see except the 0 and B, you keep it aside and see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7 is its bit length. So that is what it is saying. So conjugate. So I'll also show you how to make a complex number. COMP. Suppose I have B is equal to I want to make it as a complex number. COMPLEX, complex of 10 comma 20. If you see the B, it forms the complex number. So now I want to do the conjugate. So conjugate is basically if it is in the positive sign, imaginary value is in the positive sign, it converts it into a negative. If it is in the negative sign, it converts back into the positive. So what I'll do is B dot conjugate. So it changes. This is what the conjugate does. DAR of A. What else? Denominator. So suppose you have some denominator, it shows suppose A is equal to 2 divided by 4, and you want to see A dot D N O M I D O D E N O M I N A T O, or denominator. Denominator. here of a. So you are done with the conjugate. Now you have to check what is the denominator. So suppose a is equal to 10 and a dot denominator d e n o m I n a t or denominator of a is 1. So this you don't need to mention this, as it is not a callable. It is, if you just mention uh, if you just mention a dot denominator, it gives what is the denominator, denominator. So let us take the help of this. What it says, a dot d no minat or denominator. It says converts the number or a string to an integer or returns 0 if no arguments are given. If x is floating point, conversion truncates towards 0. If x is outside of the integer range, the function returns is long instead. So what it do? Suppose I have a is equal to 10.23 and a dot denominator here of a is float. Float is different. Okay, let us discuss about the next one is the next one is the a. So now you have denominator and imaginary and numerator real. So okay, suppose a is equal to 10 plus 2j and a dot denominator okay, let us discuss about the denominator now. So dr of a, so denominator is there. So basically the integer value, the denominator of that value will be the 1 itself. So I think that isn't useful. Yeah. So suppose here what's next? Let's see about the denominator, a dot denominator. So it gives 1 because see, since we are discussing about the integer, so the int values should be always, the denominator should be always 1. So in order to cross verify that, so we have this denominator. So even the imaginary is also like that. Suppose you have 1 2 3 1 2 2 a dot img imag a dot imag, it it should not have the imaginary value. So and so since it is an integer, it should be plain. So if you give the a dot real or in real, it should give the real value. Again, it also depends on the now let us discuss about the float also. FLOAT float is equal to 1 2.03. so dir a, see, there is nothing called denominator here in the float, and other than that, it looks everything is similar as integer relationship. So a dot as integer ratio so it gives the ratio between the values. Okay, let's see what is that. A dot as integer integer ratio. So it was, yeah, yes, because see the ratio between those two values, it says a dot as integer ratio. Okay, dr of a. What next? Conjugate, you have already know. Exa a dot h x, it gives the exa value of that. That's it. And imaginary gives the is integer. A dot is integer. Integer. It should give false because it is not an integer. A dot real it gives the real value. Cool. Let us discuss about the complex value also. J. Okay, dar of a. So what all there in the complex? You have conjugate, imaginary, and real. Conjugate, it gives the negative values. UGATCONJUGAT conjugate. Okay, and a dot imag image, it gives the imaginary value. 0 is there, so and a dot and real, it should give me the 1. Yes, cool. I think for today this is enough, and hope you like this video. And if you like this, and if you like this, please subscribe for this video, comment this, like this, share this, and it helps me as a trainer